Hello, my name is Sydney Shrimpton, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my lesson plan for this course. So my lesson plan is called Sampling the Cultures, and I intend to teach students a little bit about both the Spanish and the German culture. So I'm going to be using a couple of different technological tools in my lesson plan, and so I'll show you a little bit about those tools. The first of these tools is called Duolingo. Duolingo is a website that can be used to teach students different languages. So it's a very easy website to use, and it's incredibly streamlined, so it can be used for all different ages. My lesson plan is geared more towards the 7th and 8th grade age. So to start off, some of the advantages to using Duolingo are that it is, like I said, incredibly easy to use. You also have a wide range of languages that you can start to learn, and so it adds a lot of diversity. It's also it's also free. So you're able to use it with students without worrying about having a cost. If you do want to subscribe to it, I think that as you get into the higher up levels, you may have to pay a small fee, or if you don't want the ads, which aren't intrusive at all, but if you didn't want the ads, then you'd also have to pay. However, I haven't run into any issues where I felt like I needed to pay for Duolingo. So to begin your Duolingo experience, you have to just click Get Started after you go to duolingo.com. So then you can scroll through all of the languages that are available to you, and there are a lot. So I'm just going to keep it simple and click Spanish. So after that, it will ask you why you're learning a language, just so it can adjust the content to make sure that it's covering all the things that you need it to include. So I'm just going to push school. And you can choose a daily goal, and this will help give you some incentive to continuing your lessons. It's also really nice to use this website for school because students aren't required to create a profile. They don't need to share any of their information with the website because or the only reason that they would create a profile is if they'd like to keep track of their progress and their parents said it was okay. So if you choose a daily goal, it varies just on how much you are willing to put into learning this language. So I'll just click regular. So as you can see, this is a really easy startup process. So you have the option to either test out of the beginner Spanish class if you already have some background in Spanish, or you can just start with the basics. That way, you know, it learns with you, so you won't be bored with what you're doing. So these are what the questions for this app look like. They're typically multiple choice. And you can go through it. The pictures obviously kind of give away some of the answers, but as you get further into your lesson, you learn, or they get more difficult. Something also that's great about this website is that it will say the words out loud, so you can learn you can hear what they sound like as well. And the fun sound effects make it worth it too. So then this is another version of the questions that they give you. So they do have a couple of different kinds of questions, and as you get further up in levels, they increase in difficulty. So there are obviously a lot of really good pieces to this website and a lot of reasons, a lot of benefits to using it. Most of all, probably because it is interactive. Students will stay engaged with it just because of the fun little characters and the cool sound effects, and you can also engage in a lot of contests and games as well. So the second tool that I want to show you is called Pen Pal Schools. This is a website that connects you with all kinds of different classrooms around the country. So teachers will register and then they invite their students on. As soon as you sign up, which is a very simple process, you just have to provide a little bit of information, you are led to this page that provides you with a lot of different categories. So Pen Pal Schools is free to use for teachers. However, it does run on something called classroom credits, which you receive by telling other teachers about this website. And then the other teachers, as soon as they join the website, they tell the website that you were the one who told them about it, and then you get another point. If your school does want to buy a subscription to this, it costs $2,900 per year. So it is quite expensive. However, if the entire school is using it, I think it's kind of worth it. So once you come to this category page, you can scroll through and see if there are any kinds of different lessons that relate to lesson plans that you've been learning about or things that you want to teach your students about. So you just go protecting the planet. So it'll pop up with an essential question and then different project options for your students. You'll give the project options to your students to complete. they'll write up their blog post that includes all the requirements of the lesson, and then they post it. And then from there, they can see what other students from different classes have posted as well. And then after that, they can comment and give feedback to the students who posted. So it's really a great option for students to talk to each other and to learn from each other. Some of the benefits for this website are that you are learning not only about the different projects that you're being given, but you're also gaining new perspective. You're able to see the different ways that students are thinking and what they're experiencing, which provides a lot of different perspective. All right. So an overview of my lesson plan is that I'm going to be teaching students about Spain and Germany. To start the week off, each culture gets their own week. So to start the week off, I will begin with introduction videos, which will provide a bit of an overview of the culture and give the students something to kind of get their feet wet with it a little bit. It's not something for them to really learn from, but just kind of to see the sights of the culture and kind of get an idea of what they're going to be experiencing. The next day, they'll be splitting off into groups to research a different food that they draw from a slip of paper that they draw out of a hat. So they will be required to do some different kinds of, or some research on that. And then the next day, they will be presenting over the food. They'll be telling us the history of it, how you make it, if we make it in the US, what kinds of different things we add into it. The next day, they'll be presenting these, and then we'll do a review of the lesson. So during that time, students can show me what they've learned. And then the last day and then I will give them some snacks that come from the culture that will just kind of add something. Duolingo will be used interspersed through the lesson as sort of a space filler. I didn't really want the students to think it was like a language learning lesson plan. So I focused more on the cultural aspects than them just using the website to learn the language. The Impel website will be used for them to post the information that they learn about from the food presentations. For the final project, they will be required to pick a country that they want to travel to and list out all the expenses that they can possibly think of. They have a lot of guiding worksheets to help them with this. And then they will be presenting to the class about whichever country they have chosen. So by using this technology, I don't have a class that I can share this lesson plan with, so I decided to go with option B and talk about what I gained from allowing them to use this technology. So with the technology, you have enhanced student interaction, which enables them to, which I basically meant that with Duolingo, but their interactions are enhanced also with Compal website because they're able to talk to students from different cultures. They're able also to get consistent lesson planning as far as Duolingo goes because it keeps them accountable for whatever their goal is to meet each day. They also are able to learn more from others than they could possibly learn from me. They get to experience what different people in different cultures are writing about and learning about, and they can learn more as they interact with each other. Some of the challenges I foresee with the use of this technology is their ability to retain the Duolingo language because it's not a very focused aspect of the lesson plan, so I don't know how well the flashcard-esque lessons are going to stick in their minds. I also worry about them being able to connect with other students from different cultures just because sometimes it's hard to understand students from different cultures who don't speak English as their first language. Some of the successes I expect them to encounter, though, are these successes in moving up in levels and understanding more of the languages that they're learning. I also expect them to encounter successes as they meet new friends through the PenPal website. So that is an overview of my lesson plan, and here is my resource page. I thank you very much for listening.